Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of the Escaping Free-to-Play Season 3. Would like to say a massive thank you to all the likes and subscriptions from yesterday's video. It was really nice to see and some great comments there as well. So in this episode, what we're going to be doing is extending on what we basically did yesterday. In terms of what I did yesterday for the couple of hours I had available, because we did have to do some editing, we did get 80 smithing. We actually did quite a bit of rune darts with that. I think I did something like 20k rune darts. And just AFK'd away and actually used up all the bonus XP I've had on the account probably for 6 months. So 80 smithing is a good thing because it gives us a couple of things. Bane bars and smithing. Not that the smithing will make money, but making bane bars will be decent profit. We can still do necronium as well, and I do think that actually smelting can bring in some decent profit. So at some point over these next 2 weeks, I'm sure I'll be dipping into like orichalcum, normal rune, necronium, bane and all that sort of stuff. But what I'm currently doing at the minute, I'm just running my jade amulet because I've got a bit of time to play and I basically want to craft through quite a lot of things today. So I'll finish this info and then we'll go to the gun exchange to look at our buys because we have started to pick up some refined magic planks, which is good because we can start turning them into frames. And I'm debating whether to hold on to them for a couple of days because they were over mid yesterday and I do think they will go like slightly higher over the next couple of days. But hopefully these botanist ammies do sell for the price we've got as well. This should be a pretty decent profit, like a 10 to 12 mil chunk of money, which at the minute is not too bad for the time it's going to take. Like this will be done majorly like in AFK time and stuff like that as well. But the rune bars are flying down as well, so smithing them will bring in some profit. So anytime I've got AFK time or I need to edit, I'll be making like decent money just by smithing anyway. But if you are brand new to this series, please make sure to hit that subscription button and hit the like button as well. The series link now will be in the corner of the video, so if you haven't watched episode 1, the link will be available to go and watch that now. We actually hit 6,000 subscribers last night, which is absolutely crazy. Like, in terms of goals for the year, like the subscriber count has just absolutely blew up way beyond what I even hoped for. I set a quite ambitious goal of 5k and like to be at 6k midway through November is unreal. So thank you guys so much for that. But yeah, so now we've actually I've finished that info. So I'm going to use my Ring of Fortune, which if you didn't know is a really cheap way to go directly to the gun exchange as well as miscellanea. I always thought that it was the Luck of the Dwarves which you had to use, but no, you can just use the Ring of Fortune. So let's have a quick check because yesterday we did sink quite a bit of money into all of our stuff. So all the jade is bought, which is good because we'll work with that now. The lumite, I am very much debating actually just turning it into rune bars because I need to check the price of the rune ore. We actually got this pretty decent. I bought all this lumite for 2.3k each. I managed to buy it when the portal was out, so I thought it was worthwhile buying at that point there. But if we need to, like, we can turn that into normal rune bars because I imagine the price of older rune smithing with the double XP approaching is going to go very high. And it just means that there'll be more demand on rune bars, which hopefully means more profit for us. So I'm not going to touch this because if it does sell for that, it just means we've made a nice 7 mil profit. But we've managed to get a decent amount of refined magic planks for a very good price as well. We'll be making 29k per frame and we've got an offering to buy 2k's worth of frames of planks. And not only that as well, magic is serious XP. I'll definitely get 91 and we'll get a decent chunk into 92 as well. If we are making planks over the double XP, we are probably going to get 99, but we shall see. Again, we'll need to see what goes on there. Pyroclast is bought, which is good because I need to keep at that. Because if I do Pyroclast every day of this like challenge, I'll easily make like half of the bond price back. And just from doing that, and again, like that's why it's such a nice, easy daily for you to do. Yes, it's a little bit annoying to run 1,000 buckets of compost a day, but if you keep steady to it, you can make some serious profit and you can fund half your membership. That and combined with herb runs, I've already said it, those two skills will pay your membership quite easily throughout a month. As long as you're consistent with it, you need to keep doing it. The more you do it, the more you're going to pay off. But in terms of keys, we have 6 now. So it's the Academy of Skillers, which is kind of the Academy of Heroes, just skilling. But let's see if we get anything interesting. In terms of where I'm going to put double XP or bonus XP even, I'm not quite sure. Although we've got purples already, which, you know, we love that. Wicked Hood teleports are nice. So we've got 750 unstable protein shakes, 400 springs, which is money, and 3 large combat crates, which is very good. We'll be able to get another reward as well with 2 reds. What I could do as well, because we do have the Foresight promo coming, which is a lot of skilling items. Now, because I've been doing so much through Pyre Man, I could nail easily 10 quests because I've done it so much on Group Iron Man because we're running all the accounts. Oh, Mask of the Yellow Worm and Divine Oak Tree. Nice. I could quite easily rack up some spins for the Foresight promo, and that's where you can really get the skilling items. I'm going to throw this on Div, and then on the double XP, what are we going to be doing? Smithing. I feel like smithing is going to be something good. If we get Elder Rune, like 90 smithing would be a massive thing to get. So, yeah, I think they're going to be the two big ones to concentrate on this time. Well, the big three are going to be herb, smithing, and construction. Those are going to be the big ones. I might dip into urn crafting as well, because urns will always make profit. So, yeah, that's enough for a ramble. We'll come back with all the different money makers we're going to try today. Again, any suggestions you've got, drop them in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking, what you're doing for double XP, what are you going to train as well. Let's get talking down in the comments below. In a minute, I'm just trying to make sure to see all your guys' comments, all your feedback at the minute, because I know there's been a couple of issues with video quality, which I am trying to change. I'm making little tweaks every episode to try and get to the base of the problem, and then hopefully we'll find out what the true issue was. So that is the 1000 jade jewellery all strung. So now we just need to enchant, which is nice because the enchanting bit is probably the bit which takes a little bit longer. The enchanting is basically if we're doing emerald jewellery, so I just need to go and buy some cosmic runes from the Grand Exchange. While we are there though, we're going to go through a couple of other money making methods which we're going to do. And again, this is the kind of method I like to do on this account. I like to have the next money maker already bought and then the next one lined up, so the suppliers can buy while I go through the next money maker. So the next thing we're going to do is cycle through frames after we do our ultra compost. So the majority of the refined planks have already bought. So what I want to do is have the next method bought so we can go through that once the magic planks are done. And I'm not waiting to buy things, but also I can try and buy things a little bit cheaper than before. So what we're going to end up doing is decorated urns. Now what I want to do, because decorated urn prices vary so much, it really is worth the 5 to 10 minutes just to go through all the decorated prices, just to see if something is significantly higher than the rest, because for whatever reason it doesn't need to make sense on why it's higher. They can just be high just due to volume. So in a minute they're looking to be roughly about 12.7k each, but once we just go in throw an offer in of just everything, and again if you really want to as well, you can find the lower margin by just selling the urn afterwards. There are quite a few things which are very similar to this, like mining the Demonheim ores. Those are basically the same price, but they can be vastly different. But to be fair, the Grand Exchange price for all these do seem to be very, very similar. But we've just seen that the Hunter urn, for whatever reason, is slightly higher. That's 14k. And there are some as well which are slightly over mid as well. So we've got the Hunter. We just need to do rune crafting and smelting. The past 2 times I've price checked urns, smelting has been the highest, and I have no idea why, because who uses smelting urns? Is there a place where it's really OP to use, or is there a place which is really beneficial? Because I just can't see it. So that is going to be all the urns bought. So rune crafting is a little bit higher. There we go. Smelting is so far the highest. Yeah, so if we go and check these urn prices, the two which are by far more GP are going to be the rune crafting and the smelting urn, which come in 16.7k. And again, this is why I say you have to check margins on things. If I was to think the up and coming double XP, what kind of urns would I have gone for? I would have gone for divination, because holes is massive, especially core parties as well, and people like to have the urns available for divination. And also things like farming or mining or wood cutting as well. Wood cutting, you're pretty close to 110 wood cutting coming out. But again, these are some of the lowest ones here. So the one I would have thought which didn't have a chance, smelting and rune crafting, because 110 rune crafting is coming as well. That kind of makes sense. Those are the ones I would have thought or imagined were going to be the big ones, but no, they were not. So yes, so what I'll probably be doing is just buying a little bit of soft clay. So 2 soft clays make an urn, and I will put a disclaimer now. Urn making is awful. I really don't enjoy making urns. But if it's going to make it the kind of profit that's stating, we can definitely do some. And then again, this is what we were saying, I can slow buy this soft clay for 200 coins less. Yes, it's going to only save us 400k, but that's 400k more profit just by doing something in the meantime as well. And this is why I like to have 2 to 3 money makers in rotation, so I can hop and change between the rest of them. And while I'm making these planks, I'm going to put an offer in for something like 1,000 or 2,000 soft clay, and we can make a little bit of GP from it as well. So That is currently the plan. So I have to enchant the Jade amulets before being able to sell them as Botanist amulets. I'm going to go and do my Ultra Compost now because Ultra Compost needs to be done. Although we're just going to have a little cheeky check on the Rune Dart price because I'm a little bit cautious really. I would have expected these to have absolutely flown up. They're still over mid and quite comfortably over mid. I just expected them to be a bit more. So yeah, that's that. So I need to buy 1,000 Cosmic Runes, 700 GP. Each is a little bit spenny for them. They had a big push up in price and they have gone back down a little bit since. So basically, in terms of enchanting jewelry, one of the easiest and most like laid back money makers going. Like enchanting jewelry is like the absolute basic to do, and that's why like one of the first things we price checked was emerald rings, because ring of dueling is just so good for things like this. So let's see if I have a action bar. And the good thing now, you don't have to click them individually. One does the full info for that as well. So I'm just going to try and get a little bit of cash out. Whether we sort of cancel the magic frames or I could sell the springs in my bank. That could be an idea. But what we're going to be moving in tomorrow is finishing off the frames. The frames are basically going to be my little AFK project this afternoon. And then we're going to put in some big offers. I do think though, what I'm going to do with the GP invested in the magic refined blanks is just keep rolling it over. So the profit I would make from the frames, I just go and buy more refined blanks and just build it. And we can see like by the end of like the 2 weeks, surely how many like refined planks we can buy in one big go. And it's kind of the same with like, I like to stock up my Ultra Compost because I really like to show you guys just how much I've collected on a bond. Because they won't be perfect and I won't collect them every day, but I will sort of like collect them over time as well. And we can just show you, look, by the end of the bond, this is surely how much we have saved from that. But yeah, enchanting is going good. Again, I will continuously check the price of Rings of Dueling because I do think over the next 2 weeks there will be a gap and we will go in that gap as well. I will probably go over and check all the supers for overloads because again, I think we'll find a little gap where that can be profitable. Same with Sorrow Brews. If I needed to, I could grind on something like super anti-poisons for like 10 to 11 mil per hour pretty comfortably without that causing me much of an issue. So that is always like plan C if we need to as well. But at the minute, we've got access to a lot of money makers which are going to make us over 10 mil per hour and 10 mil profit per hour pretty easy as well. The earns as well. There is a couple of little flips there. You're talking like 2-ish K each. Not really what we want to be doing or investing our money in, but it's definitely one to keep an eye out for the future as well because there's definitely going to be times we'll want to dip into flips as well. So that's why just checking margins is always worthwhile. So to finish this video off, I'm going to talk through one of the easiest money making methods, and we've mentioned it before. It's something I would advise people if they're looking to pay for their membership through bonds. This is the absolute first thing you want to do per day, as well as doing your daily shop runs in Viswax. And just going to do the compost is basically like a free 5 to 6 mil per day, which you can get for absolutely free. And it's one of those you just have to do because it's just going to be pure profit. So literally all you need to do the day before is to go and buy some of the Inferno Pyroclast, which we already got from the Grand Exchange. Again, the price of it can fluctuate quite a lot, so it can be a little bit annoying. And all you need to do is just dump it into this compost bin here. After 24 hours or during the time, more and more compost will be created in your compost bin. And then eventually you can basically just empty it and then bang in another 1,000 Pyroclast. So you want to keep it on a rotating basis of looting this compost. But again, it's one of the easiest money makers you'll get to the game. And it's just so mad that it's just pure profit. So in terms of the shop runs, I did mention the shop runs as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing them because they can be a little bit tedious and annoying. I do think though at the minute, actually doing things like feathers, buying feathers is something like 3 mil just for like a 15-minute run. Now that's definitely something we can look at doing because it's worth our time and effort. So what I'm going to do is finish all these Ultra Composts, throw them in the bank, and like I've said before, throughout this whole 14-day bond, I'm going to keep the Ultra Compost in my bank and just building that stack up, and then towards the end of the bond we can sort of price check how much the compost is paid and show you guys, look, this is how much I've managed to chip off just by doing that as well. Also as well, might be doing a little bit of low-key farming and maybe we can tie some herb runs in if we can get appropriate things. I don't think herb runs aren't a GP moneymaker to do on the eve of the double XP. It's really your bread and butter moneymaker which you need to do every day. And that's when it starts to build up. If you're consistent with your herb runs, you will make money no problem. and you can pay for membership no problem as well. Now, I am talking something like 3 to 4 a day, but if you're sort of able to work from home, or if you play on mobile, or if you just sort of time your herb runs well with like your downtime during the day, you can definitely crack in 4 herb runs. And especially if you've got things like play your own farm beans, and you can do some of the herb super potions, which like make it grow straight away, you can make a lot of money with that as well. So I'm just going to sit here and do my compost bin for today, and then we can whack that into the bank. But I'll pretty much end it here today, because we've basically just continued to build on what we were doing yesterday. Today we've sort of talked through a couple of things. We've talked through this compost method. We've talked through doing urns. We've looked at the jade amulets. They should be sold tomorrow. Do I think I'm going to be doing them again? Maybe not, because I think there's some other items which will outperform. In terms of crafting, I don't think battle staffs are quite worthwhile at the minute, because the battle staff price has gone up a little bit. And I just think things like urns will outpace and outperform. Although urns as well can be a little bit tedious as well. So yeah, maybe we go and have a look at jewelry tomorrow. We look at porters and we look at dragonstone like necklaces and all that. But that can be tomorrow's episode. But a bit more of a crafting focus in this one. Tomorrow will be a lot more crafting focus, as well as finishing those magic frames. That's my big goal for tonight, is to AFK away and just get those magic frames done, because that's going to be an awful lot of money to have made, and also a lot of XP as well. People really underestimate the sheer AFK XP of frames, and it really does rack up after a bit of time as well. But that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed, please make sure to leave me a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for your suggestions. Any suggestions for the series, moneymakers, or other stuff as well, just make sure to drop in that comment section, and I will always do my best to respond and give you guys a thumbs up and a heart as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you have enjoyed, drop me that like, and I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.